So here we are at the log builder's workshop, and we're going to take a look at building a set of log stairs today. So here we have some Douglas fir that we'll be cutting into treads. What we're going to do to start with is we're just going to check the moisture content and just see where we're at. I would think we're probably going to be about 12 or 13. No, actually we're much higher than that. We're about 18. So we're going to have to dry this down to about 7 or 8%, something like that. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to cut them into roughly the right size, and then get rid of all the extra wood that we don't need, because I'll be able to dry it much quicker that way. So the tread dimensions are going to be about 280 by 65 millimeters, which is about 2.5 inches by about 10 inches. But I'm actually going to make it bigger than that. I'll probably make it about 290 by about 75, and that way after I finish drying them they're going to actually land up being, they'll have a little bend in them or whatever, and I can plane it out and deal with it at that point. So I put my pin in the end, and I stretch this out. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to snap a line here. Look down the line, make sure it's square. And you can see that in how to build a funky coffee table, how to do that properly. If your line doesn't come out clear enough the whole way, you can always stick the pin in and just go to where the line didn't come out quite as nicely as you'd like it to, stretched out, and snap it again. Next we'll take a tape measure and we'll measure the width of our treads. So as I said, the treads are 280 wide, but I'm going to actually make them about 290. I might even make them 300, which is about 12 inches. I think I'm going to go with 12 inches to start with. Put a mark there. I'll do the same at the other end, and if you notice on the front, it's got this kind of curve to it, a slight curve, but it's not enough to be noticeable. So when I do my final trim, I'll just trim the back of the treads to take that into an account and just kind of straighten out the front edges of the treads so that they're all the same. So one of the most important things is to make sure that you get your pin, which is here, stuck in properly, because when they come out they tend to fly at you, and they're quite happy to poke your eye out. So wearing glasses is always a good thought. Pull it out. Down to the other line, stretch her out, because you put quite a bit of tension on there. Come down and flick it. And there you have a nice line. I don't know if you can see the line, but we'll just take the camera over here and you can see the line. Next thing to do is to take my saw and cut them to the right width. That's the back cut. The reason I'm leaving the front round like this with the wane on it is because I like this look. So I'll peel that up, clean it up, and just kind of leave that with it. And when you see the end of these treads, you'll be able to see the lines, the growth ring lines in line with the front edge. One thing you got to watch is not all edges are created equal, and so once you get close to the center of the log, the wane might go either way, so you just have to pick the best way. This one starts out going the opposite way and then turns back in again. And this one will be the same approach. We'll just snap a line along the front, and then we'll snap a line a foot back, and we'll cut that off, and we'll repeat that for the other 3 lots of tread material up there. So in this design, I'm going to make the treads a meter long, which is about 39.5 inches. I tend to work in metric because it's a lot more accurate the way I do it anyway. So we'll cut them into probably longer than 39, probably about 42 inches. That way I've got some extra to cut off later on, and you'll see that part of the process later. So I'm going to measure this about, say, 42.5. That way I should be able to get 3 out of this. And because my back, I have that line, I'm just going to measure off that, and that will give me a fairly square cut across here. Then I'll do that again, another 42.5. This doesn't have to be absolutely precise at the moment. And just check the end. Yeah, I got my 42.5 and a little bit more. So I'm just going to do that for now. Line across, and then I'll take my skill saw and I will cut them into manageable tread-like sizes, and then after that we'll put them through the power planer. There we go, our first tread. So something that's always I've found prudent to do is to make an extra tread, because occasionally something's wrong with one, especially after you've dried them. You know, it just saves you a lot of time, and you can always use the tread somewhere else at the end of the day.